It's got time.
Well, oh baby, back in the saddle again. Let's get it, boys. What is up, everybody? Welcome to the pregame show.
Let's go.
Let's go. No, we are live in the Toyota line, sitting by your front-line Toyota stores. Toyota, the official vehicle of DNVR Nuggets, hosting the Blazers for the first of 2 games at Ball Arena. That'll take them right into the All-Star break. After this is a little vacation. That time when you got to focus and lock in and get a couple wins.
Yeah.
Don't start thinking about Cancun just yet.
Do players still go to Cancun?
Cabo.
It's Cabo now, huh? Everybody goes to Cabo.
Or Miami, I feel like.
Yeah, maybe there as well. But I'm going to Cancun.
I know where your head's at right
I know
now.
where my head's at for sure,
Just
man.
lock it for 2 more games.
Just got to get through this week here.
Cancun, man. It's just such a wonderful place.
It's
It
great.
really
This year we're
man.
switching it up. We're going to the DR.
Ooh.
Curious to see how that goes.
I know.
Curious to
DR.
see. When you got kids, man, you want to go. You want to know what you're getting into.
For
you
sure,
know, the
for
slide, everything. Nuggets trying to go streaking right now. They got 6 of them wins under their belt. Can they get through their All-Star break and be on the precipice of tying their Jokic era high? We're going to talk about that. The Mavs and Lakers, did their seasons just go up in flames for different reasons? We'll talk about that. And then, of course, this man over here is going to make us all rich beyond our wildest dreams. Harrison Wynn's in the building.
Happy to be here on a Monday. New week, fresh week. Blazers week. Another 2-game set against
Blazers week.
Trailblazers have been playing well, as
Been
you'll
playing
hear in
great.
game notes in 1 second. So should be an interesting week for sure.
Yeah, our old friend Chauncey in town.
It's coaching them up.
Over here, Superstar Dev.
Let's get it, man. I'm excited about. Usually I'll be a little bit upset about them playing a team like the Trailblazers. 2 straight games. Trailblazers are not that same team anymore. They're a little bit fun. And also, I'm excited to see this Nuggets team, see if they could continue streaking. I love to see how many wins they could get up to.
Nuggets have been fun, lately. So I'm excited again to watch Nuggets every single night. So I'm with you, Blazers. All right, I'm into it. I'm curious to watch them, but I'm really excited to see what Jokic and company do. What are our game notes?
Well, let's start with the injuries. Michael Porter Jr., he's out again tonight.
Dang it.
Hamstring tightness. I got to think he's going to be out through the rest of the pre-All-Star break here, out through the All-Star break. He did warm up before the game, looked a little better in his warm-up than he did before Nuggets last game, but still not really moving 100%. That was obvious. So
now you get
he's
to the
gonna
point.
be out.
So now you get to the point where there's going to be only 1 game after this.
Yeah, he's
so
gonna
his
sit.
odds of playing in the next one feel low. I mean, we'll see, but might as well just rest it, go get some sun.
Yeah, go to Cabo.
Go to Cabo. We need
He's
those.
already ready for that photosynthesis.
But Jamal Murray and Aaron Gordon both playing tonight. Both were on the injury report, same
Good.
injuries, but they are both playing. For Portland, Jeremy Grant, Robert Williams, Chris Murray all out in this game.
Who was it? Jeremy Grant?
Jeremy Grant,
Okay,
Robert
all right.
Williams, Chris Murray, Scoot Henderson getting the start for Jeremy Grant in that Blazers starting lineup.
He's been hooping.
They're going to be small.
They're going to
Yeah.
be small.
And it's going to change up their identity a bit because, Portland's won 10 of their last 12.
That's crazy.
Hottest team in the NBA along with the Nuggets. Not the most impressive wins, I'll say. They do have a win over Milwaukee, 2 over Phoenix and Sac, 2 over Orlando. The 2 losses are to the Thunder and Timberwolves. Over this 12-game stretch, 12th in offense, but 1st in defense, 4th in net rating. And the big change for them was they moved Denny Avdia, into the starting lineup for Shaedon Sharpe. And Michael Malone spoke about him pregame, talked about his size, his length, his physicality, and also about Tamari Kamara, one of the better rebounders and defenders in the league. So Portland, they've kind of, dug in their heels defensively. They got a bigger starting lineup, a little smaller today with Scoot Henderson, but Avdia in there. So they've kind of been a revelation over the last couple weeks. So this should be a big test for the Nuggets, no doubt.
I'm curious because they've had some guys that have really been making waves, and the guy I'm kind of interested in, of all people, is Toumani Camara. Guys are really hyped. People I really appreciate are really hyped on him over this run. Like, he's really having a breakout. He even got Michael Malone's comments in the pregame where he shouted him out, saying he's one of the more physical defenders in the league and one of the best cutters. So that's the guy I'm kind of excited, just as a basketball, fan of the game. I'm excited to really key in on him tonight.
Yeah, it's the versatility with him and Advia. They're good. And making those type of changes. Shaedon Sharpe's been a name, for the last couple of years as a gunner, a scorer, a shooter. So for them to make that type of decision, I think that makes you want to get in line, want to play a little bit more defense. Them being the number one defense in the league, for that small duration is the why they've won 10 out of 12. Games, and it is players like Kamar that's playing extremely hard, that's playing both ends of the floor, and you have to play hard against that team. You could not get a night off against Portland as you could in the past. So Denver is going to have to come with not their A game, but at least play a real good game.
I like this quote from Malone, though, as transcribed by our friend Ryan Blackburn. He says, they just have a lot of size and length and physicality. I mean, they made the lineup change, put Denny in the lineup, took Shaedon Sharpe out, and Shaedon's still playing really well for them off the bench. I love how Malone always finds a storyline that might be pertinent to Denver.
Yeah. He loves pointing out storylines. That's what he does. He's done that in the past.
Some guys, you take him out of the starting lineup, and it really hurts him and affects him. But, over here, he got taken out.
Yeah.
I think that's very impressive.
I mean, maybe not as impressive as will D'Angelo Russell play a lot the rest of the Lakers series.
That one was a good one.
He called that one out too.
I think that's a really interesting decision they have to make.
Yeah, it was an interesting story.
But I like this one because it is. I do think one of the stories for Denver, and it's probably not going to be a story till after the All-Star break. Who starts when everybody's healthy? Is it Russ? Is it this or that? And I do feel sometimes when I hear this, I'm not saying this was Malone's intent. I didn't see it. I'm just reading the transcription. But I would say it comes from the Malone playbook to start dropping
the breadcrumbs.
So sometimes one of your best players comes off the bench.
Yeah.
And that's the best thing for the team. It's best that way.
Yeah. These things do have kind of usually a way of working themselves out, and it kind of feels like it is in this situation with the Nuggets, with the Westbrook injury and Christian Braun playing well. I don't know. We'll see what happens, but it is a problem for after the All-Star break, and that timing kind of lines up too. The stretch run, what do you have after the All-Star break? 30 games or so?
Yeah.
So it will really be time to zero in, and I'm excited to kind of see the direction they go and who they choose and how that looks.
Yeah. Who do you have your eye on tonight on the Nuggets side of things?
I think it's Jamal, just to see if he continues his play right now of the balance. Because right now we've been seeing ups and downs from him, but also this last game we just seen an explosion offensively where he's able to score when he wants to. Just making sure that he could get that balance, making sure that he could, change it up at times, but also still be aggressive. I think this is another opportunity for him to be in a scorer's role because they don't have a Michael Porter Jr. You get to still work on that two-man game, and they look really good. They win games when him and Jokic are on the same page, when him and Jokic are scoring and very aggressive. This is another game that you should be aggressive, so it's Jamal for me.
Yeah. What about you?
Christian Braun, can he just have another banger of a game? I mean, he feels like you can just write him in the upper teens or 20 points right now. But really for me tonight, it's just the overall team and kind of how they look because the Nuggets have won 6 in a row. You still don't get the sense from, the Nuggets universe that everybody's really convinced that this team is back quite yet. Because they've played a pretty soft schedule, the teams they've beaten over this 6-game winning streak, not the most impressive wins. They've played well, but there's still a sense to me of all right, are they back yet? Can they start stacking good wins over good teams? And with how the Blazers are playing right now, this would be their best win of this current win streak. So a win tonight would be a little validating if you think the Nuggets are back. a loss would be like, all right, those were easy wins. Like that was kind of a fake win streak against bad competition. So a win like kind of puts this win streak in perspective to me tonight a little bit.
So this was for me. It's Jalen Pickett. I know it's the cliche for me, but
It's Jalen Pickett and Zeke Naji also for me.
I mean, because again, how much longer are we going to see these guys? Probably 2 more games, right?
Yeah.
After that, guys start to come back. So we don't have a huge sample size. So this is kind of important. But this was sent to me. Let me get this right. It was Jazamanje. I probably screwed that up so bad. Sent it to me on Twitter today, which was the cleaning the glasses, who filters out garbage time. 2-man net rating for Jokic and Pickett.
Oh, let's go.
100th percentile.
Let's go.
Offensively, 141.3 offensive rating. This is 172 possessions, which is small, but not nothing. It's still too small to really read anything into, but it's not like sometimes people send this and it's like they played 12 minutes, guys. Come on. 172 is like,
that's how much Zeke has until
that's right. Defensively, 102.3 defensive rating, 99th percentile.
Oh, man,
they're
they're
in the
elite.
100th percentile offensive
lockdown
2-man pairing.
defense, those two.
99th percentile.
Although I will
defensive.
say, Jalen Pickett kind of had Devin Booker in jail last game.
He's a good defensive player.
couple
He's smart.
possessions.
And, it does remind me a little bit of Colin Gillespie. If you guys remember last year, Colin Gillespie, it was only 2 games for him, but it was both against Portland. But it was a small sample size, and he goes in and plays incredible. And, with Pickett, it's a bigger sample size. We're talking about like 5-6 games. Not that big, but 5-6 games. But here's the thing that's interesting, man. He's a true point guard. Monte Morris's numbers were pretty good with Jokic as well.
Yeah.
True point guards who just don't turn the ball over, and that both of those guys know how to not turn it over, when to be aggressive, when not. And then the defensive part of this for Pickett, he has played well. We'll see tonight if he's going to guard Scoot Henderson, Anthony Simons. Like, there could be some tough assignments. I'm very curious to see if he can actually do it against that type of player. But there is something, too. Don't turn it over. Play through Yoke. You know what that means? Best offense ever. Top offensive rating. So, to me, I look at that number, and while it doesn't mean anything when we talk about does this mean something for Denver, like, oh, now he should be in the rotation, it does mean something to me about, hey, man, that mold of player just works with Yoke, and he's doing the job right now.
I mean, just super high IQ players at it at the same time. And also, you talk about taking care of the ball. Like, Pickett's not just out there just playing, careless. He makes sure that he takes care of every single possession, and then it's both ways. He's playing on both ends of the floor. I do think that it's great that you brought up like a Colin Gillespie, you brought up a Monte Morris, because that is the same type of mold. Yeah. A backup point guard that knows their role. And there's like the consistency aspect of it. And we all know how players look alongside Jokic. But being able to see it at that type of level, I really do think it shows you what they could be like if, for whatever circumstance they have to go with that, or if we get more minutes of them being together. It's great to see Jalen Pickett get minutes. Hopefully it's alongside Jokic.
Yeah. You mentioned how smart of a player he is, how he loves to get the ball to Jokic. In the 5 games since Jalen Pickett has entered the rotation, he's played 88 minutes these last 5 games. He has 1 turnover.
Illegal screen, right?
And it was an illegal screen, and it was a bad call, too.
I love that.
It was a bad call. So he's taking care of the ball. He's getting the ball to Yoke. He's distributing it well. He's making smart passes. And, I mean, that's what you want from a backup point guard.
Yeah.
Especially like Russell Westbrook is a total game changer. So he's kind of in a different category. You want him to create. You want him to take some chances. Jalen Pickett, you want him to play like almost conservative basketball a little bit. Just make the right play. Set others up. And that's what he's done.
So it's kind of exciting to see. Let's move on now and talk about the streak. The Nuggets never get streaks. They have a 9-game win streak as their record. I think they have a couple 7 games, handful of 6 games. They're at 6 right now. Dev, how important is it to you for them to beat that? Does it matter to you that they just never can seem to get a 10 game, and now they're on, this is the best chance they'll have all year to get there?
I think it matters. I mean, of course it matters. It just builds culture and builds people being on the same page, and you're not going to see people complaining about like playing time. You're not going to hear about those type of stories when you're winning. Everybody's in a good mood. You would look crazy to be, having a down time while you're winning. But also, I think it's important to build habits, blow out teams, beat teams that you're supposed to beat. And also, you're going to go up in the standings if you go on these type of streaks. Even if and when it does, break, you could go back to it of like, hey, you're not doing the same things that got you here. So I do think it's important, and you need that. I just feel like a lot of things that we're seeing right now is for Yoke's legacy.
Yeah.
I want to see 10-game streaks. I want to see that he put together like these long runs of like, hey, he was incredible, and here goes the wins to go along with it. So like, I think that matters.
I think a win streak right now, especially at this point in the season, right after the trade deadline, or in the midst of the trade deadline, heading into the stretch run, I think it just can be a great confidence booster for this team. And also just it's led to them playing with a lot of joy and just energy and excitement. And the vibes have returned a little here over this win streak. And like, if the Nuggets had not made a move at the deadline and then lost like 3 in a row, imagine where we'd be.
Yeah.
The fact that they've strung together some wins after not making any moves, and especially because it's been some of these guys that were on the chopping block in a Zeke Naji and a guy who hasn't played for 2 years in a Jalen Pickett, that's got to give you a lot of confidence internally if you're the team that you got through the deadline and you're playing this good basketball with the guys who got you here.
But I'm also with Dev in that if they never get a 10-game win streak in the entire Jokic era, it'll just feel so weird.
It feels like they should have had 4 by now.
They absolutely should have. And here you have a chance to get it to 8. You come out of the All-Star break, you got Charlotte. Again, you don't want to count your chickens before you hatch, but this is a great opportunity. And then it sets up, I think it's is it the Lakers? Lakers right
would
that.
be for 10, yeah.
And for 10, so it's like, hey, make that game, like make this a storyline. And to me, I honestly feel like I'll be bummed if they don't get to that point. I'm not saying that the Lakers game, that'll be tough.
Especially because
all
all these games are so winnable, too.
They're just so winnable that's like, hey, man, get one streak. Just get one streak that we could all ride the entire wave. So to me, kind of important. Let me know in the chat, by the way. I'm so curious if people agree if it's important or not. I don't know if you guys saw, but over the weekend, the Mavs, is Anthony Davis, goes down with an injury. We kind of talked about that the other day on the show. But the Lakers had a weird one as well. Their trade for Mark Williams, the Jokic stopper, got rescinded.
Crazy.
And I'm going to tell you this because I've talked to a couple people about this, I'll just say in the know. Teams know what a guy's medicals are before you do all the screening process. Everybody knows.
Yeah, there's like a database out there, right? You
I
just log in.
am going to throw out and say I'm not sure that the Lakers didn't have a little buyer's remorse after making that move and maybe got the medicals and were like, you know what? You can get out of almost any deal being like, hey, man, we didn't know about his hangnails. Like what? Yeah, man, he suffers from some really bad.
The Mavs should have been like, Anthony Davis didn't pass the physical. Cuban should have stepped in and been like, didn't pass it.
As weird as this situation is, this is one is just like conspiracy Adam is really going on this because I don't know, man. Something doesn't add up, and it's weird for me the Lakers backed out of that deal. Now they have Jackson Hayes as their backup center.
But wasn't Mark Williams the hand-picked center by Luka Doncic?
I think that's where the frustration comes from, is because like it went through the new guy in, not LeBron. You know what I mean? Like I really
another better conspiracy, Kale. That's even better. That's even better.
But like really, I do think that
deal?
changes things. Like,
is there trouble in paradise?
He didn't make the decision. Like, and LeBron has always wanted to make those type of decisions. He's been the one that's made those decisions. So maybe this was like a LeBron didn't say yes, I want him type of player. So like, why would you do that? Also, even if you stick on that, you just got rid of Anthony Davis, a player that has played alongside LeBron, and they've won a championship. They've done well. So if he's not part of that decision, that's something I would say, hey, let's look more into that. Because once it probably got to LeBron, he goes like, this dude is not good, for one. And then two, he's always hurt. Like, we're going to be stuck with these people. I want Dalton. I'm sure he wanted Dalton.
You think?
Yes.
I mean, there was the report also today that LeBron was a little thrown off by the fact that the Lakers, threw their first round picks in there to get the guy Luka wanted when they were so hesitant to trade them in the past. He was a little surprised by that, just a little surprised.
I would love if this is what derails the Lakers before anything. And it's a real possibility. I mean, I had this exact thought when the trade happened. LeBron has had great players with him, but he's never been the definitive number two. And there's a part of me that I have to imagine LeBron looks at this and goes, oh, cool, 2 number ones. And it's like, no, it's Luka. Now you're Luka's sidekick. And we went and got Mark Williams. He said he likes him.
And he's like, what? Who?
He's like, hold on.
Who likes him?
He's like, that guy's trash.
Who liked him? Have you seen his medicals? They're like, what?
LeBron's the only one that had seen the medicals.
He's like, we got
Guys,
Well,
you
it's just
gotta
like, wait
take a
a
look at
minute.
this.
We're giving up a little too much for him. I bet it's more of that. Like, we're giving up a lot
Interesting.
for this guy.
They did give up a lot.
They did give up a lot
for him. So it's like we could go. You could probably get the same production from anybody. Really, you could go out of the league
thing
and
is,
get the
they're
production.
screwed now, though.
They
Now
don't-
their best case scenario is like Daniel Tice.
No, he's just got signed. He just got picked up, didn't he?
Well,
I think- yeah, I think you
maybe
can-
he'll
But you
get
can't
released
get
or
a
something.
good
but, like,
player now. They are pretty screwed.
Yeah.
Like,
Dude, I
in
saw
that-
somebody posted on Reddit that the Lakers Reddit had like Jackson Hayes is actually pretty good against Jokic, guys.
I saw that too.
Trying to talk themselves into
I
this.
was wondering if is that a troll?
It's got to be, man. It's got to be a troll. But I mean, but it's the same with Mark Williams, right? That like Dan Wiki or whatever, who I think does a good job. You know,
Yeah.
I actually think he's pretty good. But he had the like, Mark Williams kind of dominates Jokic. And you're like, guys, stop. What are you doing? Stop.
That's a text you get from the front office after a trade,
What's his name? Coloco?
straight from Palinka.
He's pretty.
Loco.
I don't know if you saw this game,
Yoke really struggles with his, his jump shot.
but
Like,
they
all
don't
right.
have anything. They can't do anything at center. Like,
Yeah.
they have Jackson Hayes.
DeMarcus Cousins is up
Do
there.
you know how
Dwight Howard's
pissed-
a free agent.
I would be pissed off if I'm one Mark Williams
Yeah.
and two Dalton.
Dalton
I'm like,
Connect to me is the one.
What?
Dalton Connect to me is the one because the Lakers media machine came out with quietly the team was questioning his physicality and toughness. You know, like when a guy gets traded, all of a sudden everybody goes to work to be like,
Yeah.
it's actually not that big of a loss to get rid of him because we're not know. And then all of a sudden, he's coming back.
It's like everything you do from here on out, you're like, they're probably trying to they're going to get rid of me.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
getting rid of, like, not think about, because everybody's been there, but you walk on shells at your job. It is
Yeah.
not fun to do that job.
Yeah.
Like, you're thinking about it all the time of, like, what's next?
Yeah.
I could not be that, especially as a basketball player whose game is pretty predicated on his jump shot.
Yeah.
You have to have high confidence in being a great move to knock down a shot. You're not doing that now. Like, every single thing you're second guessing. I would hate to be it. And then Mark Williams, he has to go back in the Charlotte locker room after not even getting to smell with the Lakers locker room. Like, it's like that. That would make me so mad. And then they're like, "You're damaged goods."
Yeah.
Like, you're damaged.
Did you see
goods.
the Hornets statement that they put out?
Yeah, I
They're
thought
like-
it was good.
After another team aggressively pursued, like they
Yeah.
can't even name the Lakers.
I love that.
Another team aggressively pursued Mark Williams. We welcome him back to the Charlotte
That's the
Hornets.
smart thing to
We're
do.
so excited to have him back after we just tried to trade him.
Last thing, and then we got to move on. But I think it's a big deal that Anthony Davis might be out for a while. Lakers have no center. I think both of those things
Huge.
matter. When we talk about the West and who's tough, I just think Denver now should be confident against them. They could obviously lose to anybody, but they should be way more confident than they were 4 days ago should they match up with those teams. You agree?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, Minnesota to me, way scarier matchup
Yeah.
than the Lakers.
Yeah.
A healthy Dallas, scarier to me than the Lakers, for sure. It's the teams that have.
But Dallas's chances of being healthy are so much lower now.
I know.
Even if AD gets there, it's like how many games are they going to get to play to figure out who they are?
They're only a game and a half away from being completely
And
out
they
of
might
the
not even
play-in.
make it. Yeah, they might not
Still,
even make it.
man.
A month without AD, they might fall out of the play-ins.
entirely
Still,
possible.
the only way for the Lakers to defend Jokic is now the Rui adjustment again.
Oh no! Oh,
That's
no.
their only option.
The Rui adjustment. Our pregame picks are presented by Bet365. Download the Bet365 app and use code DNVR365. Deposit $10 and place a bet of $5 to get $150 in bonus bets. Must be 21 or older and physically located in Colorado. Please gamble responsibly. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and needs help, call or text 1-800-GAMBLER. Dev?
Let's make some money. Let us make some money. The Nuggets come into this game as 9.5-point favorites, and guess what? That is too high for me. It's just too high. They're playing extremely well right now. Double digits is like a lot. You got to win by 10. You could do back doors. You could just give up that type of. I don't love it. I don't like it. Good thing we're on Bet365 because you probably can go up 20 at one point, so
Oh.
you'll win your bet. But I'm not gonna encourage somebody to just go with the 9.5 right now. I think the Nuggets win. I just don't know by how much. I will go with the over 229.
Really?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of buckets that could be had in this game. Just lots of scoring opportunities. Also, I know that Portland is like they're middle of the pack pretty much on offense. Good defense. Denver's going to try to push the pace and like try to throw them off their game defensively. You got to try to match that. So I'm pretty sure that there's guys who will try to score. We also have seen Portland just have one guy goes insane every time we play Portland. Just like the most random. I just never will get over. He's my first person up on the on Portland side of things. Anthony Simons, the one time that he went insane against the Nuggets, I will never forget. It was like 7 3-pointers or something like that. That was back when they had Lillard. Didn't matter. He was knocking down shots. I'm going to start there with over 20.5 points. He's also the scorer in that first unit. They play defense. He wants to score, so I like that. Also like DeAndre Ayton points plus rebounds at 26.5.
Okay.
He has these random games that he could put up like 17 rebounds.
Yeah.
He plays well against Jokic also. Jokic gave him respect at one point in time. Like he was a guy that he really liked how he played. I think that he gets up for that type of matchup. I have learned just while watching DeAndre, he's psycho. He doesn't know when he's playing bad. So he just always thinks he's playing well. I think that you could do well in that against Jokic. You got to be a little bit crazy to think you could like match up with him. So I think he'll have a good game.
I think Yoke likes to, pump Ayton's confidence a little bit by letting him get a couple easy ones early.
For sure. It's the same thing with Nurkic.
Yep.
It just allows him.
Yep.
Shoot you guys out the game, man.
Yeah.
On the Nuggets side of things, let's start with Christian Braun over 1.5 3-pointers.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah, I had to make a quick alter. Michael Porter Jr. was out at the last second. I said, you know what? Who could take those shots? Is Brown. He also is plus money, so just knock down 2 shots. If he gets one early, it gives you the whole game. I think he is going to knock down one early for sure. So I'm going to go over 1.5 3-pointers. I also think this is a Christian Braun game, so I'll have a couple of bets on here for him. Also like him at over 23.5 points plus rebounds. I expect him to score like 20. So if you get 4 rebounds, you're going to be fine. You're going to get the over here. Christian Braun is in a groove. He's playing well. I like how he knows what he is, and he's scoring right now. So I'm going to go over 23.5 points plus rebounds. I'm going to go with over 5.5 assists for Jamal. He takes on that role when everybody else is scoring of just having the ball in his hands right now. It's in a different way than it was to begin the season because he's moving a lot better. So he has the ball a lot. He can either score it, which he's been doing, or he's going to dish it off. 5.5 is very low. He's going to get 5.5 assists. I like it.
Vote is saying that he had a wrap around his quad.
It's more Jalen Pickett for you, man.
Okay.
More Jalen Pickett for you. I mean, he wouldn't be playing,
Yeah.
I would assume, if he's not feeling well.
Dude, they have Jalen Pickett assists on here.
Really?
3.5.
Oh, you're betting
Is this
on
the
that.
first time we've ever had a Jalen
I
Pickett
know
prop?
you're betting
I think
on
it
that.
is.
I don't know if I'm going to take it, though.
I don't know,
3.5.
it seems like a decent bet.
3.5.
It's a fun one, at least.
He's
I'm going to
really-
go over 8.5 rebounds plus assists for Aaron Gordon. I really like this bet because he's been passing it really well. He could get 6 assists and 3 rebounds. That's enough.
Yeah.
But he's been finding different ways to affect the game without his scoring. So 8.5 assists plus rebounds I like. Let's go over 16.5 points for Brown. Our defensive bet, Brown over 1.5 stocks. I also like Jokic over 10.5 assists, so you know what that means for our lock. Jokic triple-double.
Really?
Yes, I'm going right back to the well. We need to get this in the third quarter.
We do.
They're not getting this because they've been blowing teams out. Portland doesn't seem like a team that you could blow out, but if this means that Denver gets to keep streaking, that we missed this by just a rebound or an assist, that means that Nuggets are winning. So I really like that. I'm going to take the triple-double. Hopefully he gets it in 3 quarters.
You know I love betting on triple-double. I just love it. I get so excited
It
when he
feels
gets one
good.
anyway.
It feels good.
Except when he's sitting on the sombor double.
Yeah, then you're
you're
just
like,
driving
come
nuts.
on, bro.
I think he'll get it too. I like that one. All right, we got some super chats. What do we got?
Everybody skips Eric. Sup, Windy, babe. Let's go. 20-0, fellas. Dev, smile, bud. Cedric, win for you. Will it be AG or Maul game tonight? I'll say Jamal. And Big Honey, Dev knows Hashtag NBA Insider.
Dev knows. Man.
Dev does know,
Dev
man.
knows.
Dev knows.
Dev knows.
Never question it.
Me and Bo.
All right, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. Go ahead and hit that like button for us. We're going to go down to the bar and watch the game. We'll see you on the other side.
We all silly like the mayor.